The individual self. The individual self comprises unique attributes. The relation self comprises partner shared attributes, and the collective self comprises in-group shared attributes. All selves are fundamentals component of a self-concept, with each being important and meaningful to human experience, and each being associated with health benefits. Are the selves, however, equally important and meaningful? To review program of research that tested for competing theoretical views, suggesting that the motivational hub of human experience is the individual self, the relation self, the collective self, determined by contextual or cultural factors. The research furnished about to the view that individual self is primary from of a definition we discussed, alternative and explanation and implication. We end with the introduction of the theoretical model, the boomerang model, that he has potential to integrate the diverse literature on the topic. Self-concept is all the behavioral beliefs and abilities one has about him or herself, what is understood from the responses of the others. So, self-understanding is the ability to individual to understand his or her own behaviors, actions, and reactions. Thank you.
My topic is all about digital identity. A digital identity is an information on an entire used by computer system to represent an external agent. The agent may be a person, organization, application, device. Define identity as a set of attributes related to an entity. Our online identity is all the information we leave on the internet. It's our digital footprint, which has detail as our email address, date, birth, bank details, and even our purchasing habits and online stores. Online identity goes beyond what we do online. It also verifies that we are who we say we are. Internet identity, also online identity or represent a person, is a social identity that an internet user establishes in online communities and websites. It can also be considered as an activity constructed presentation of oneself. Although some people choose to use their real names online, some internet user refers to be anonymous, identifying themselves by means of pseudonyms, which reveal varying amount of personally identifiable information. An online identity may even be determined by a user relationship to a certain social group they are a part of online. Some can even be deceptive about their identity.
The concept of individual self is a fundamental aspect of human identity and psychology. It refers to the unique set of characteristics, values, beliefs, and experience that define a person as an individual, separate from others. The individual self is shaped by a myriad of factors such as genetics, upbringing, culture, and personal experience, which influenced by an individual's personality, behaviors, and outlook on life. One of the most important aspects of individual self is the development of a sense self-awareness. This is the ability to reflect on one's own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and to understand how they relate to the world around them. Self-awareness is essential for building a strong individual self, as it enables individuals to identify their strengths and weaknesses, and to work on improving themselves. It also helps individuals to develop a sense of purpose and direction in life by clarifying their values and goals.
So today I'm going to discuss to you what is individual. So personal identity is about how you see yourself as different from those around you. Social identities tell how you are like others. They connote similarities rather than difference. Some identities carry a different privilege balance or oppression balance than others. Let's talk about identity, the piece of ourselves that tell us who we are and what we like, and the pieces of ourselves that others use to decide who they think we are and what we are actually like. There are basically two types of identities that we possess. First, a personal identity and our social identity. Personal identities. Now let's focus first on personal identities. Take a few moments and think about who you are and your personal traits. Personal identity is about how you see yourself as different from those around you. Hobbies, educations, interests, personality traits, and so on. Favorite foods that rules you home. We might dislike a quality of one of our friends, perhaps, but that might not keep us from enjoying their company and valuing the friendship. For instance, if someone doesn't like piano music and you're a pianist, they might not ever care to hear you play, but they might look beyond that one trait to appreciate you as a whole person. Social identities. Social identities are the qualities that you share with similar group members. They tell how you are like others. They connote similarities rather than difference. Our social identities, tough, are the categories that create entities, such as in-groups and out-groups, and those us versus them groups. This includes categories such as social class, gender identity, political affinity, and of course their religions and sexual orientation. Not only does falling into a specific category give you a feeling of belongingness and the community, but it also set up the possibility of being seen as one of those, which can lead to essence of internalized stigmatizations or scam for openly claiming memberships in a particular group. While personal identities are how we see our own unique individuality, our social identities are the internal constructed but also external applied simultaneously. Social identities have three important characteristics that describes the role in how others are perceived. Social identities are designed to award power and its benefits or to disadvantages others through the lack of access to power. These group identities are often used to justify the differences in outcomes, abilities, or the endeavors taken to achieve particular goals. Once a category is into a particular group, social identities are nearly impossible to shift due to a difficulty, the cost, or the danger involved in transforming self and others' perceptions.
What is individual self? The individual self highlights one's unique side. It consists of attributes, traits, goals, and experiences, interests, behaviors that differentiate the person from others. This self-representation is relatively independent of rationally bonds of group membership. Is how we perceive our behaviors, abilities, and unique characteristics. One for all example, belief such as I am a good friend or I am a kind person are part of an overall self-concept. Other examples of self-concept include how you view your personality traits such as whether you are an extrovert or introvert.
Social identity example. Examples of social identity include race, ethnicity, gender, sex, socioeconomic status, sexual orientations, age, religion or religions, belief, national origin, emotional developmental disabilities, and abilities. For example, people define their identity explicitly by creating user profiles in social network service such as a Facebook, LinkedIn, and online dating service. By experience opinions on blogs and other social media, they define more basic identities. Social identity example. Examples of social identity include race, entity, gender, sex, socioeconomic status, sexual orientations, age, religion or religions, belief, national origin, and emotional developmental disabilities, abilities. For example, people define their identity explicitly by creating user profiles in social network service such as a Facebook, LinkedIn, and online dating service. By experience opinions on blogs and other social media, they define more basic identities. Net identity or identity, also online identity, online personality or internet personality is a social identity. Internet identity, also online identity, also personality or internet persona is also an entity that internet user establishes in the online community and websites. It may also be an actively constructed presentations of oneself. What is social identity online? Simply put, online social identities are self-concepts that result through identifications with social groups, or categories that individuals experience online.
Disclosure of a person's identity may present certain issues related to privacy. Many people adopt strategies that help them control the disclosure of their personal information online. Some strategies require users to invest considerable efforts. The emergence of the concept of online identity has raised many questions among academics. Social network services and online avatars have complicated the concept of identity. Academia has responded to these emerging trends by establishing domains of scholarly research such as technoself studies, which focuses on the aspects of human identity in the technological society.
Social identity refers to the aspects of our self-concept that are based on our membership in various social groups such as race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, religion, nationality, and so on. These identities shape how we see ourselves and how we are perceived by others, and they influence our attitudes, behaviors, and interactions with the world around us. As such, it is important for online communities and platforms to recognize the importance of social identity and to create spaces that are inclusive, respectful, and affirming of all individuals regardless of their identities. This can involve implementing policies and practices that protect users from harm, providing resources for reporting and addressing incidents of hate speech and discrimination, and promoting awareness and education around issues of social identity and diversity. Whee!
In the online world, social identity can take on new dimensions and complexities. The internet has created new spaces for social interaction and self-expression, allowing individuals to connect with others who share their identities and interests, and to explore different aspects of their identities in ways that may not be possible or safe in offline settings. However, the online world can also be a site of conflict and tension, particularly when it comes to issues of social identity. Social media platforms, for example, have been criticized for amplifying the voices of certain groups while silencing or marginalizing others. Online harassment and hate speech directed towards individuals based on their social identities can also be a significant issue.
So, internet identity, also online identity, online personality or internet persona is a social identity that an internet user establishes in online communities and websites. It may also be an actively constructed presentation of oneself. Simply put, online social identities are self-concepts that result through identification with social groups or categories that individuals experience online. For example, people define their identity explicitly by creating user profiles in social network service, such as Facebook or LinkedIn, and online dating service by expressing opinions on blogs and other social media. They define more tacit identities. Social identity refers to one's sense of self based on their feeling of belonging to a social group. Social groups can take many forms, including race, sex, sexual orientation, gender, class, nationality, and religion. Often these groups and identities intersect